remember it was just like, the tombstones were super old. The fencing was halfway coming down. It was really dark because we went, of course, at nighttime.
Uh-huh.
Um, but do you remember like what we caught, what was seen?
We didn't catch it on video, but I remember seeing some kind of mist from the
Okay.
flashlight. And you know what? The thing that was so creepy about Gypsy's graveyard is that there are no freaking lights anywhere. There are no street
Yeah, I
lights,
know. It's like in the middle of
nothing.
nowhere.
It was pitch black dark. I mean, it was so dark you could just like take a slice out of it. It was
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I felt like we all can get hacked one by one. You know, they had all
And no
those
one would
triggers.
find us until days later.
Yeah, right. And then we went really late at night where we could get in trouble. So we had
Mhm.
to turn off the vehicle, turn off the lights. All we had were the flashlights. And I swear, I walked not even 30 seconds away from the vehicle, and I looked back and I couldn't even see it. That's how dark it
I
was.
know.
We must have went when it
Yeah,
was cloudy out.
I mean, that's what I remember about it. I remember we went a while ago, so we didn't really have much like technology, that we have now. But I remember when we did go, it was more of like the feelings that we went off of. And because it was so dark, because it was so like in the middle of nowhere, it was more of like the feelings that we got when we stepped in there that we went off of.
Mhm. Right, right. Yeah, so we were not supposed to be there. We could have been arrested, but
That's
knowing
true.
us, hey, we're paranormal investigators. We don't get scared too easily. But we
Yeah.
did have a couple people stay in the vehicle because it was so dark, and then we ventured off. And you know what? I think I remember we seen like a light, a little ball of light or something by the
Hmm.
trees. Do you remember that?
I do remember seeing that. It was crazy because like I said, it was way back then. We were just kind of starting off, so like we didn't really bring much except for our like feelings and our experiences. So yeah, I do remember seeing the ball of light. I do remember the feeling that we got, and I remember it was pitch dark, but it was like almost raining at
Mhm.
that point, so we were kind of like, in the rain and everything, and that gave off a really weird energy too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Oh God. I think the creepiest part had to be just how dark it was, no lights, and if our flashlights gave out, that would have been it for us. We would have been
I know,
lost
we would
there.
have ran right back.
Right.
And
So
not
that
because we're scared of the ghost, but we're scared of the living whatever was out there to come get
right,
us.
right. We're more like we're asking the ghost to protect us there. And with gypsies, I guess the story goes somewhere in the 1820s. There was a band of gypsies that were passing through. From what I read, they caught influenza and they tried to see the doctor there, but he sent them away because the villagers or people in that town didn't want to catch the virus. So a lot of them died. They buried their dead there because they turned them away. The gypsies were so upset they cursed the whole town. So that was interesting because of
Yeah, that I feel like that's somewhere we need to go back to. Now that
yes.
we have a lot more equipment that we can use and stuff, that's someone we definitely need to go back to.
Gypsies was it was a awesome place to paranormal investigate. But
Yeah.
another one is Bachelors.
Oh man, that was one that I do like remember like everything about that one. Um Bachelor's Grove is it's one of the more famous locations that we went and investigated, and just getting there, like taking the trail to the actual place was creepy. There it's just a worn out trail. There's no like pavement or anything to this trail. You just go for, how long do we walk? I want to say like 15 minutes or
Maybe.
something
Yeah.
to Bachelor's Grove. And then once we seen it, it was like, it's in the middle of a forest, but once you step in there, it's pitch quiet. You can't, I mean, there's no sounds. It's eerie. And just knowing about that famous picture that's on the internet about the lady sitting on the grave, and going to the actual site, it's a feeling you can't really express.
Right, right. And I think the story there was gangsters were dropped off there that were
Yeah.
killed. Teens later on came and destroyed the place. So that may have left some negative energy there. I want to talk about the demon house.
Oh, the demon house. I
Or-
think I think it's awesome that it's like so close by that we could, we can just like drive by it and like get information or footage or evidence if we need to. Even though it's no longer there, we can go to the site and see what we can get. But I think it's something that was so close by us and something that was like so I don't know the word, like everyone knew about it, so popular. And like people we knew who knew the police officers, and people we knew, who knew people of the family that were terrorized. It's crazy that how close we were to all of that stuff without actually being in it. You know what I mean?
right.
And it being an actual movie.
Yes,
And both
yes.
adventures actually
Mr.
to Gary, and it's
Mr.
crazy.
Zach Bagans beat us to it.
I
We wanted
know.
that
I know.
place. And I know every paranormal investigator tore their hair out when they found out he tore the place down.
I know.
That was like a gold mine. And it's real strange too, because even though it's gone, there's still people coming out there.
Out there doing investigations on the dirt. People going out there and doing, things that I'm not into on there, like, other kind of worshiping and stuff. And but there's people that, even though the house is gone, they see, like Chris Fleming was talking about it, how he saw a shadow over the house, during the investigation and everything. And that's crazy to me. That just goes to show how oppressed that location was.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one day we can go and be one of those people that, investigate the property and see if we can find something with our equipment.
Definitely. I would love to. That should be on our list, even though it's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people didn't like the documentary. I did read the reviews, and they complained about not having a big investigation there, or they just felt it didn't give them. I guess they wanted something like the regular television series.
Yeah.
But what I loved about the Demon House is that he brought in the professional credentials. He had the police chief, caseworker, medical staff, documents. I mean, that's major. So I think it was well put together,
Oh yeah, like it wasn't fabricated for any type of entertainment. He wanted to get down to what actually happened in the house, and I think it's credible for them, for those investigators, Zach Bagans, Aaron, and Billy and all them, to go there and get their evidence, as they should, by professionals who actually experienced what they experienced. He's not going to go there and be like, fabricating some stuff just because they're in the house, for money. He's not going to do that, and he never was that type of person to do that. So yeah, I thought it was pretty amazing the way that documentary went about that too.
Yeah, I watched it late at night by myself, and
That's not a good idea.
yeah, he goes, this film is cursed. I'm like, oh great, do I need
exactly.
in my
At
life?
least it was a warning.
Right. Mhm. I'm like, come on, just curse for you, not for me. No. But
Exactly.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I actually have a copy of the police report, so maybe one day we'll go ahead and, you know, do an investigation over there, and then we'll do some snippets of the actual police report. So
we got to
maybe.
find that police chief.
Oh yeah, I have it. I know exactly where it is.
Awesome. So yeah, so those were the three of some of the creepiest places we've been to. Do you want to talk a little bit about Manteno?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Manteno. So Manteno State Hospital, where do I begin? So when we first arrived there, the buildings, it wasn't like one full building, right? It was like a couple of buildings separated. Manteno State Hospital housed a lot of psychiatric patients, tuberculosis patients, people who were they were sick, mentally sick, physically sick, people who couldn't take care of them anymore. They were put in that hospital, which is really, really sad. So you can imagine the poor souls that are still there, you know? So when we went in there, we went in first during the day and we kind of just seen how run down the place was. There was hardly any walls, hardly any paint there. Like you can see the structures, you can see what was there, but you couldn't really see exactly what the place was back in its, you know, grand old time. When we went during the nighttime, it was a whole different story. I felt like when you went in there, you knew exactly where you were walking into. You knew that this was once a hospital that housed sick people. How did you know? I don't know. Like you can just tell. Um, and there were just different experiences. We got different voices and relevant voices. I remember being in the place where they would do hydrotherapy, which is, you remember, where they would put the people in a cold tub and then take them out of the cold tub and put them straight into the hot tub, kind of like shocking them. We were in that room and there was someone that said in the spirit box, back in the tub. And did you hear that? I'm back in the tub. And how more relevant can you get than that, you know? And they were calling out the people that we were with, and it was just an experience that we would not forget. And I am grateful that we caught it all on camera.
Oh yeah, that's that's the thing too, Maggie. There's so many things we catch on camera, on our devices, and so many different people out there have caught, caught their own whatever, their own footage and so on. But some people will still deny it, and they'll keep turning a blind eye to that, and it makes you scratch your head, like, is it something you think people don't want to acknowledge out of maybe fear, or it's maybe something they were taught when they're little? I don't know.
I think
I just
it's
think,
more of a denial thing, because of both those reasons, because they were raised to think one way or they're scared of, you know, what can be out there. I think that's what it is. And I think more people need to be open-minded on what's actually going on. I mean, do you believe there are different dimensions? Do you believe that we aren't the only planet with life forms? Like it goes on and on and on to different things that you have to open your mind to. There's so many different things. Like, are there different places in your mind that you haven't used yet that can be so powerful? There are so many different things that you have to open your mind to, and there's a lot of people that just want to think black and white, and it's just not. It's never black and white. You know,
definitely not.
there's so many other things that you can discover, and to be closed off to it, it's just gonna, I don't know, you're not going to learn anything like that. You're just going to stay in your own ways. And that's where I feel Ghostbox came from. we wanted to see what was out there. We both had feelings of, you know, different worlds, different dimensions, different realities, different, you know, things going out there, and we wanted to see what was going on. We used the equipment that we had to find out, and there's different things that we did discover, and there's no, I don't think that anything can take away the interest and the passion that we have for it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Manteno State Hospital, I think the scariest part is when we felt something was circling us, and it wasn't a bird. It sounded
yeah, that whirlwind type of feeling.
Mhm. Yes. And, that's when we were calling out, well, I was calling out the spirit, but that right there, I wish they didn't tear it down. I wanted to go back there a few more times and, do some more investigating, not calling out a spirit, like I did last time, but just to investigate more there, because there was so much energy I felt in that place.
I feel like we should go to the Haunted Museum in Vegas, like Zach's museum. I think that'll just be kind of a good trip to see all the historic items that he collected, because I kind of just want to see it. I think that'll be
Oh,
cool.
it's out for display?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that the stuff that was in storage, that he put in storage?
Yeah, he has crazy like off the wall things, like he has the stairs from the demon house in that museum. Like
Wow.
things like that. Yeah, cuz that's just what he does. He collects the stuff. So, I kind of want to see that. And then as far as investigating, that's one place I do want to do. I want, because it's so close, and why haven't we done it yet? We need to do it.
Everybody, yes, this is Maggie. I love her to death. She is such an awesome paranormal investigator. I'm telling you, she is the most amazing person to investigate with. And I am not kidding
Thank
about that.
you.
Seriously,
You're the
and
best.
I have your book. I'm gonna give that back to you. I feel so bad. I had Maggie gave me a book years ago, and I feel horrible. Like I haven't gave it back to her, and I'm like on the last chapter. But
I mean, it's a really good book, right?
it is. I'm telling you, I just was so slow to get to things, with
It's
moving.
okay. Life happens. We get it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it is a good book. Thank you, and I'm gonna give it back to you this year.
Hmm.
um,
Speaking of books, can we talk about your book?
oh, yes, we can. My book just came out, guys. It's called "I Cannot Bury the Shadow in My Room." I do speak about spirits that affected me since childhood. I talk about Maggie and I when we investigated some places. Um, so it really means a lot to me because there are people in there that I really, really care about and are no longer with us. It was
Emotional?
yeah, it was emotional for me, and it's something that I felt that I really needed to get out. So it's out right now. Go get your copy. And
I have mine.
yes, and I want to thank Maggie because it would not have been done without her. I felt like
Oh.
everything came together how it should have came together, and I'm so happy that I got to investigate with the most amazing person.
Oh, Lee, stop.
Seriously.
You're amazing. Like, I never would have done it without you. Like, there's no way I would have went to these locations without you. These videos wouldn't have been like seen without you. Like, come on.
Oh no, well, I feel the same way. It goes both ways then. um,
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can do a lot more, you know. We'll see what happens,
yeah,
right?
definitely will, definitely. So, guys, our next podcast is going to be about Elisa Lamb. That just hit Netflix not too long ago, and we have a lot to talk about for that. There is different stories or different opinions that it could have been paranormal. There could have been a killer in that hotel. There could have
Many
been
different theories.
deception. Someone powerful is being hidden from her, killing her. So it's a really interesting story that made headlines, and we're going to talk about that on our next podcast.
I'm just excited to be here and to talk about these kinds of things. I know, like, with COVID and everything, it restricts us from doing a lot of other, stuff that we probably would have been out doing. So the podcast is a really good option to get our stories out there, our experiences out there. So I'm excited to do it.
Awesome.